That's today, June 9th. Look at that. All right, excellent. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, that's what I like to hear. A group full of vim and vigor. We are ready to go for our June town hall meeting. And boy, do we have a lot to share with you today. I'm going to ask you to all kind of bear with us with the long agenda because there's a lot to share, as well as with any banging you may hear. We are doing some work on, there's a chimney that actually runs from the boilers and the laundry that is below us that you may or may not know exists up here and out. And there's a roof over here. And that chimney has some work that needs to be done to it. So we've started that repair. It's one of those unsexy things I talk about that we have to do when you have a house that's 300 and some thousand square feet. So please bear with us with that. I can't really ask them to stop what they're doing because they're in the midst of doing some work, and we are going to have to just bear with it. But I don't think it'll be enough that it'll overpower the rest of the room. So, and if so, I'll just talk louder because I don't talk loud to begin with, right? So, all right. Let's get this party started. Our first presenter of the day is the one and only Luann Del Pietro, our administrator and assistant executive director. She's got some good news to share with us from Village Point. So here's Luann.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's always so good to see all of you. So the good news over at Village Point is May was a very good month. Our average census was 104. Our budgeted census is 102. So as you can see, we ran on average 2 above what our budget was. So that's great financial news for us. On Evergreen, our current census is 25, Sandalwood is 24, and our Willow Memory Care Unit remains full at 30. I wish I had better news on the COVID front. We had a slight uptick in COVID this week. We had 2 employees test positive and 4 residents. The uptick is all contained to 1 unit, the memory care unit. So that does speak to volumes of what the staff are doing and what we're doing to contain it. And the residents and the employees who have tested positive have very minimal symptoms. So that's all good news on that front. And I know that you're mask free over here at Monroe Village, but because of the 1 unit having an increase, we've put all staff back into masks over there at Village Point, as well as any visitors going to that 1 particular unit, Willow. On June 2nd, we voluntarily participated in an infection control assessment with the Department of Health, just to make sure that everything we are doing is appropriate and that we're doing everything above and beyond to make sure that the infection does not spread. We got all positive feedback from the Department of Health. They were very pleased with what we were doing. And normally when we have a resident who tests positive, we move them to our Aspen unit. So we wanted feedback from the Department of Health because we didn't do what we normally do because it was on the memory care unit. And those individuals, it's a little bit harder to contain. They don't want to stay in their rooms. They're out wandering about. So we wanted to make sure that we did all the right things, and indeed we did. So we were very pleased with the outcome of that. So just to reassure you that we are doing a good job as far as COVID and preventing the spread over at Village Point. During the week of May 14th to May 20th, we celebrated Nursing Home Week. So we had a list of activities every day. It was fun. We involved the residents, but we really focused on our staff. So these were just some of the things that we did throughout the week. We had an employee picnic. This was our rehab staff that joined us. Our grill masters, you may recognize, were Lydia and Stan. They are the best chefs around, in case you haven't had a hot dog or a hamburger cooked by them. Our vendors were extremely generous. Everything but the picnic itself was donated by our vendors. So this was a Kona ice truck that a vendor sponsored. As you can see, the staff really enjoyed that. And you might recognize the guy in the middle behind the shades. We had a vendor donate an ice cream truck on another day. On May 25th, we had a balloon release to honor any residents who had passed away in the previous year or during COVID. It was hosted by Chaplain Jenny and Asher, and it was so well received. It was very touching. We had a beautiful sunny day with a very slight wind, and the staff were able to honor our residents and either write a note directly on the balloon or attach a note. And something I never knew that we have are biodegradable balloons. So we were environmentally friendly with our activity. So the staff went down, wrote a little message to honor a resident, took the balloon outside and released it. And it was very touching and very nice to see. So I really thank Chaplain Jenny and Asher for conducting that for us. We continue to support the Spirit Award through Spring Point, and that is when a staff member goes above and beyond what their job entails. And so we honored our social worker, Grace Wilson, at Village Point, because she basically took Nursing Home Week by the horns. She got in touch with all the vendors to donate everything. She coordinated it. She really took a lot off my plate. And it was a wonderful week, and it was just something that she wanted to do, and it wasn't in her job, but she really made Nursing Home Week impactful for the staff, and we all really appreciated it. Upcoming events for June, we are going to celebrate on June 26th. Another big employee event is our celebration of years of service. I won't get too much into that because I know I don't want to steal Jay's thunder. He's going to speak to that a little bit later, but that's also a very important day in recognition of our employees. And that's all I have today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Luann. So you exposed the one thing that if you want to get me to something, serve ice cream. I'll show up real quick, real fast if there's ice cream. But we did lots of great things, as Luann highlighted. We have so many tremendous team members over there at Village Point, and utilizing Nursing Home Week as an opportunity to show our appreciation for them was really tremendous. It's great to be able to do those sorts of things. All right, next on our agenda is a gentleman we all know and love, Mr. Nathan Perez, our Regional Director of Sales, I got the title right this time, for Central New Jersey.
Thank you everybody. How are y'all? Good to see you. So we'll start with our roll-up as we always do, and then I'll give you some highlights about some of the things that we've been up to lately, and we'll end by welcoming our new friends and family members. So at this point in the year, year to date, we have a goal of 30 sales. We have 21 on deck for our record for the year so far. And then in terms of closings or move-ins, remember closing is folks joining our contract and moving in on paper. That does not necessarily mean they physically move in, right? Usually within a month they're following that. But we have a goal of 24. So far we have actually 16 sales now, since we have to update that from 2 days ago, and 2 more on deck for the month. So we should close this month with 18 sales. We are getting closer back up to that goal. Traditionally in the summer months you do see a little bit of a spike, so I'm hoping that we can close that gap within the next couple of months. Oh, and then in terms of sales on incoming sales, we also have probably about 5 additional folks that are working on applications. They have specific apartments on hold. They're going through the medical approval process. So don't be surprised if we get very close to that sales goal over the next month. So just a historic of what we've been doing. In May, we sent out a direct mail piece to advertise a hula performance. Some of you were in the room that day. This was a unique event. It combined our diversity, equity, and inclusion tactics as well as our marketing efforts. So we were able to highlight Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I should get that right, considering it's me. We had 57 RSVPs, 34 of those were new inquiries. So we did use this as a lead generator. It was an incredibly popular event, and something that we are going to talk about sharing with the rest of the community another time. And then in June, we have already sent out a direct mail piece that is advertising a resident panel event. That is something that we have not done in many years, probably before COVID, if I'm being honest. And so that is a lead progression event that will highlight a group of residents. Some of you are in this room already. And they will be taking part in a kind of wine and cheese mixer with prospective residents who are looking into the community. And then they will be an actual panel to field questions and answers. That's something that we had run at our Stonebridge community. It was incredibly successful. The residents loved it, the prospects loved it, and it is something that we will probably work into our routine twice a year, I would say, at least. And so far we have 40 RSVPs for that. So that's a very good and successful event for us. How else can you help? You can take part in the welcoming process for new residents. We are forming a really great new welcoming committee. That's going to have some really great energy, but everyone is part of the welcoming process and part of the welcoming committee, right? That's how we keep a really nice, warm, friendly environment. That's how we support our newcomers. It is very confusing when people move into the community. I don't care what your cognition level is, right? It's confusing. It's a hallway system. There's new processes, procedures, how to make reservations, where do I go to have fun, all of that. So just be patient with people as they move into the community. Give them 30 to 60 days to kind of regulate and figure out where to turn in the hallway, right? You can refer your friends. If you refer a friend to us, a family member, a friend of a family member, just bring us their name, address, or email address, some sort of contact so that we can initiate contact with them and share information. If they end up moving into the community, then you will receive a month free on us. I will pay for a monthly service fee to thank you for your efforts. You can also follow us on the Monroe Village Facebook page. Some of us do that very regularly. You can follow us and comment. You will inevitably see a lot of friendly faces, familiar faces. We try to highlight a lot of the staff and resident stories on that Facebook page. So please follow it, like it. I'm not a huge fan of social media either, but you know, it's a really nice way to see what the community is doing and just helping all of our efforts. How else you can help? If you have a really great story, I've mentioned this before, it can be 2 sentences, it can be 2 paragraphs, right? Whatever type of story you want to share that has a positive impact or some sort of positive story that you can share with your fellow neighbor here or a staff member here, just bring it to us. We can help you develop that and create a testimonial out of it. That is also another really great way that you can help us online. And that will be posted on either Google or our Facebook page. After our resident panel event this month, I am definitely going to tap into the folks joining us for that resident panel and create a resident testimonial series. And so those will be kind of like a 1-page or 2-page flyer that we will utilize to mail out to folks to say, hey, you want to know about folks living here? Well, here's a story, okay? I'm looking to develop probably about 5 or 6 new testimonial stories between now and the end of the year. And finally, I just want to welcome folks that have joined us since our last report. So welcome to the community and family, Joan Boas, Elaine DePiri, Larry Pristavic, and Dolores Lape. These are new folks that have joined us. Welcome, and I hope to see you around. Thank you again for all your support. It's good to be home and good seeing you all.
Thank you, Nathan. Once again, it is all of you that make Monroe Village the place that it is and the place that other folks want to come and be a part of. Seeing the interaction with our residents and our prospects is a great thing. The fact we're going to be able to do the resident panel event, I think, is really going to be wonderful. The referrals, I just signed off on one as I'm staring at somebody directly in front of me who referred somebody. And we'll be getting a nice credit on their monthly service fee once that person moves in. That is what continues to sustain and build our community. And we do it here, I think, unlike a lot of other communities in Spring Point, and a lot of other communities that are like us in the senior living world, and it's a credit to all of you. So I can't thank you enough for that. one of the ways that we make sure that there's so much to do and so much to see and so much to tell your friends about and make everybody else jealous that you live here and they don't is through all of the programs, activities, events, specials, you name it, we got it. And it's all on Facebook, right? You see it all on Facebook. So who's in charge of all that? Our friend, Steve Ween. Where is he? He missed his cue.
Thank you. I'm always late. I was late to my wedding. But it all worked out. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. Great day this Friday. And we'll get started. Get your pictures ready or pencils. We have a lot to cover.
Yes.
Okay? So, marathon. Upcoming programs and entertainment. Today, Barry, not our President Barry, but this Barry, he has been here before, a year ago. He'll play on the guitar, sing. So that is today at 1:30. Saturday, June 10th, Avi, this is probably his fourth program with us, so we're excited. He'll probably do some popular show tunes, popular music. I said, keep it happy. All right, keep it happy. Also, I like to insert, we're thank to the Kiefer Fund. So mostly all these programs is through the Kiefer Fund. This Monday, Monday, June 12th, Ian Mahoney. He will be in the auditorium at 1:30. I'd like to thank the Resident Association. They are actually supporting this entertainer. And also, let's thank Sarah Lee Miller. These two, actually, if you don't know, Sarah Lee Miller majored in a cello. So she is a very good piano player, but she majored cello. And Ian actually knows about Sarah Lee Miller, so he wanted to do a concert. So please come, enjoy the nice day. And again, thank you to the Resident Association for providing that entertainment. Friday, June 16th, back, we have Deborah. She has a great voice. So this is her third time, I believe, in 6 weeks that she'll be back. So thank you. So that will be also 1:30 in the auditorium. Saturday, June 17th, Phyllis Chappell. This is actually her first time at Monterey Village. She is a female guitar singer, so we'll have some fun and be ourselves, welcome her, and we'll see how the feedback is, okay? Wednesday, June 21st, our Caribbean music. We'll be having our steel drummer. This will be his third performance. 2 o'clock under the tent, okay? The tent will be up, so we're having some fun. We do pay attention to the weather, so please pay attention to 1979. That is your communication to us, and we could do real-time communication, okay? So, right, if it's weather or with the fires, okay? I like to be positive, okay? But look, if it rains, we'll be inside, all right? We'll still have the same performance, just inside. Friday, June 23rd, Stephen Pollock is back from Italy. He'll be doing actually live entertainment, and he will be singing. Saturday, June 24th, very happy to actually invite back our violin virtuoso.
Virtuoso.
Thank you. I got C's in language, so I passed, but English is a second language to me too. Sarcasm's number one. So. But it's a 13-piece violin, cello, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think the last time they were here was 2013, so please make it an effort. I'm very excited to have them back. Wednesday, June 28th, Camp Day. That's our third annual Camp Day. Gina will talk a little bit more about that. But it is 4 o'clock under the tent as well. Like I said, Gina will talk more, but we have entertainment at 4. It's a good Alzheimer's Association event. Okay, here we go, keep going. Saturday, July 1st, David Aaron and the band will be here. He's performed here before, but we're excited to have him back. 7:15 in the auditorium. Tuesday, July 4th, Tony, he has been here before. He'll be 2 o'clock in the auditorium after it's holiday dining hours, right? July 4th. So after you have a nice luncheon, right? You can have a nice entertainment. Wednesday, July 5th, Jake's Rockin' Country Band. That will be 1:30 under the tent. They were here last year. Everyone had a good time. So fun. Again, if it weather related, we'll be inside. Saturday, July 8th, Keith Spencer. He's a favorite. This is probably his 5th time coming back. So we're looking forward to having Keith back. 7:15 in the auditorium. There's more. And I heard ice cream early. So ice cream. Wednesday, July 12th, Ice Cream Social. 2 o'clock under the tent. We will have live entertainment as well and some ice cream. Okay, yes, the Livewell staff will give you ice cream. Maybe exercise in the morning. Wink, wink. Saturday, July 15th, Fred Lahota and the Ragtimers, they will be returning. Always have a good time with Fred and the band. Saturday, July 22nd, Casino Night. This is not real money, again. I like to stay behind, not behind bars, okay? My kids are watching. So 7 o'clock to 9, Casino Night. It's fun. Even if you don't know how to play, we usually have about like 8 dealers. But people like to play for 2 hours. So if it's too much, just, you can always walk around, hang out, but it's fun. Saturday, July 29th, Lowell Shantz Band will be back at 7:15. If you're not too familiar, they did the Oktoberfest, and everyone had a good time. So they will be returning for a show. Okay. Now there's a touchdown update. Hopefully, if you are watching 1979, this slide doesn't look too, different. We just want to make sure everyone understands that tomorrow, June 10th, there will be a server infrastructure upgrade impacting the touchdown platform from 8 a.m. to 12. Okay? What does that mean? You won't be able to use it. Okay. So I told the front desk, and I worked with Matt and the dining team. I think Touchdown told us maybe 3-4 weeks ago. This slide has been on the screen. So right, if you notice, there's no exercise scheduled on your 1979 channel because I won't have that option. Okay. So again, during this time, the community apps will be inaccessible to our users. So anyone who likes the app, don't worry. It's just Touchdown doing their thing. Okay, I don't work for Touchdown, so I can't even tell you that much. But right, channel 1979 and those signs by the front desk, the dining room. I know some people use that. They will also be down. So we never really went through this before, so I would be interested to see if it takes that long or if that's a nice timeline. We will see. So I know everyone understands. I talked to the front desk, so keep in touch, okay? But wait, there's more. So Monday, June 19th, we'll have a Juneteenth program with Richard Moody, Slavery and the Underground Railroad. Will be 1:45 in the auditorium. Wednesday, June 21st, we'll have outdoor yoga. That will be 10 a.m. on the fitness center deck. Again, we'll pay attention to the weather. Thursday, June 22nd, celebrate Pride at a special Thirsty Thursday. It'll be 3:15 under the tent. Okay, so nice weather, right? We're gonna stay positive. If it does, rain or fire,
Let's hope.
yeah.
Or smoke.
Yeah. So we will probably be more in the clubhouse, club room. There'll be, like Nathan said, a marketing event, so there'll probably be some co-mingling, but it'll be a special Thirsty Thursday. So it might be a little different, but just work with us. We'll have a good time, okay? And Monday, June 26th, jazz dance at 1:30 in the community room. So again, thank you. There's a lot to do, and I always appreciate the support and patience, like always. So thank you again, everyone.
All right, if anybody comes and tells me there's nothing to do around here, I'm gonna send you to Steve. And trust me, he's gonna tell you all the things there are to do around here. There is literally something for everyone. So it's wonderful to see the variety of programs, the variety of entertainment, the variety of events, the ability to do things both indoors and outdoors this time of year. It really is great. I'm looking forward to a lot of the events we're going to be able to do outside under the tent. And for those of you who might be newer to Monroe Village or not sure where the tent will be, it will be out near the pond. So you'll be able to access it by going out the doors of the Fireside Lounge. There's a door out there right next to the entrance to the Fireside Restaurant. That will be the quickest way for you to get out there. But then, of course, there are other points of entry out into the pond area from the various wings around the pond. So we're looking forward to a lot of fun out there. We did that last year, and I think we did more events outside than we thought we would do, just because it was our first year doing it, and they were all great successes. Just being able to be outside when the weather is nice and enjoy the weather and enjoy one another's company is quite a bit of fun. So hopefully the weather will cooperate again this year, and we'll have a lot of good times, make a lot of great memories outside the pond area under the tent this summer. All right. So where are we going next? So if we sin by having too much fun, we have someone to help us redeem ourselves. How's that for a transition?
Well, that's good.
Did you like that?
You're getting better.
I'm getting better. I'm doing what I can. So with that, here's Reverend Jenny.
I absolve all of you preemptively. Okay, space bar to move ahead,
Space
right?
bar to move ahead.
There we go. Okay, I have 3 things for you today, just so you know. The first one is Chaplain's Round Table Series. We started this last year, so 2022 was the first time we did it. And Chaplain Round Table Series are a chance for everyone in the community, no matter what your religious tradition is or isn't, to gather together and have an open dialogue about the deeper questions of life. Okay, so it doesn't matter, Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, secular humanist, atheist, whatever is your life philosophy or commitment, you are welcome. You're welcome at any of the things we do here in Spiritual Life, but Chaplain Roundtable Series is open to everyone. And this next one was brought to us, this idea was brought to us by a couple residents. Do you notice the pictures up there?
I love it.
Morgan Freeman and George Burns. Who remembers the Oh God movies?
Oh, yeah.
I loved them. When I was a kid, my image of God was George Burns with a cigar. Okay? So we're going to be jumping into what is God? Okay, Asher and I are putting this together. It is a 5-week series. It will be on alternating Mondays. So it won't interfere for those of you who do the Bible study with Reverend Joanne. You can do both, okay? So it's at the same time, 3:15, and it's easier for me to read that than this. This is too small. So the first one is God language, defining God. What do we mean when we use that term for the divine, okay? What is the divine? Second session will be God as creator. And I'm not gonna go, I'll be here all day if I talk too much. The third session is this concept of a non-personal God. Many people come to this notion that God isn't personal, but God is a life force. So we'll talk about that as well, okay? God and the question of evil, this is a big one. If God is all powerful and all good, why do bad things happen? We're not going to come up with major conclusions, I'll tell you that. But we're going to dig into it together. And then finally, our fifth session, the divine and humanity. What's the relationship like? Okay, so that will start in July, the end of July. It takes some time to put all this stuff together. So the format will be lecture and discussion. We're gonna have a great time. I know it seems deep and serious, but we're gonna have fun too, okay? So be looking for that in July. And then, you have chaplains here. What are we good for, right? What are we good for? If you're not religious, sometimes when I meet people in the hallway and I introduce myself as a chaplain, one of the first things they'll say to me is, I'm not religious. And usually my response is, can you keep a secret? I'm not all that religious either. I am a reverend, I'm ordained Presbyterian, but I love to have all kinds of conversations with all kinds of people. So when do you call the chaplain? What is a chaplain good for? Obviously, if we share a faith commitment with you, we can talk about that together, but there's all kinds of ways that we can be helpful. Chaplains are skilled in offering spiritual care across religious traditions. So whether you talk to me or Asher, it doesn't matter what your background is. We love just to talk with you and get to the nitty-gritty of what's going on for you at any point in time. Okay, we can help you access your spiritual resources by sitting beside you while you work toward recovering or remembering your sources of hope and strength. Okay? Sometimes talking with a skilled listener who is not a friend or family member is useful to gain perspective. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that when I talk with someone and they say, I can't talk to my kids about this. I can't talk to my spouse about this because I don't want to, burden them. If you're in a caregiver role and you love your spouse, you love taking care of them. It's part of why you're here, but you need a place to talk. We're here for that as well, okay? But we're also delighted to celebrate good news with you, okay? New grandbabies, let us know, okay? And you can call us at 6450, leave us a message, okay? The last thing I have for you has no slide. It's just an inspirational thought for the day. And now I have to make sure I still have it. Here we go. Good, I need my glasses. This inspirational thought from the day comes from a Chinese philosopher, okay, called Lao Tzu. Anyone familiar with him? Lao Tzu. Okay, this is what he has to say. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding. But water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. This is a paradox. What is soft is strong. And I want to give you a brief image so that it becomes concrete. Okay? Some of you know I have a 13-year-old son with autism. His name is James. He's wonderfully exuberant, joyful, adorable boy. I love him. There are moments where he gets extremely frustrated. He will pound his feet, he'll scream, he'll pull at his hair, and the running dialogue in our home when he does this is, "What's wrong with James?" And usually my response is, "I have no idea. If I knew, I could fix it." But one day, when he was throwing a fit, I said, "You know what, we gotta do something here." So I came up to him, wrapped my arms around him. He's tall enough now for me to lay my head on his shoulder, and I sang one of his favorite songs. Usually it's, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine," rocking back and forth, back and forth. And then he'll sing it with me. Calm down, smile on his face. When we are soft and yielding, whatever rigid thing is happening in life, that is our flexibility to get through it. So that's your inspirational thought for the day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. To highlight another lyric, if you will, in the similar vein, accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative, right? So let's all keep that in mind, that we want to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and remember that those things that are soft overcome those things that can be hard. I got no transition for you from that, I'm sorry. But I will say that this is a very, very busy month for our next presenter. She works very hard at a cause that is near and dear to her heart, and she's going to share some stuff with you about it. And this is in the midst of all the other things that she does as our Director of Resident Services. So I will remind you to accentuate the positive, because you've got a lot going on. So with that, here's our Director of Resident Services, Gina DePiro.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
First, let me say thank you, thank you, thank you. We raised during the health fair almost $700, and while most of it was paid by the vendors who came here, they made their donations to the Alzheimer's Association. It was a great kickoff because you all gave a little more than $130 that day, and it's so deeply appreciated. So it was a great way to kick off our fundraising season for the association. Okay, so around at the elevators should be a flyer with a gentleman's face on it, Dr. Greenberg. So June 13th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's an evening event. Dr. Jeff Greenberg is a famous neuroscientist who is going to come and discuss all the latest and greatest about dementia and Alzheimer's and what they've discovered thus far. It's very, very informative. He's a really nice man. He'll give a lot of information, but he doesn't get so deep in the weeds that you're like, it's over anybody's head. It's a nice wine and cheese event. It'll be held right here in the club room. If you looked at the flyer, it has one of those like fuzzy little squares that say you can click it and with your smartphone and register. You don't have to do that. You can just go straight to Diane at the front desk, and she has a sign-up sheet so that it makes it easier for all of you. So that's not a problem. So we hope that you all come out on the 13th. On the 20th, which is the eve of the longest day, we will have, Ed and I will have a program called What's Wrong with My Neighbor, or Is It Me? It's a very surface discussion about what's normal aging, what's mild cognitive impairment, which is something new that you'll see and hear about, and then what is dementia and Alzheimer's. And it's camp day. I love camp day, and you all had so much fun. Everybody who came to camp day last year had a blast, either taking pictures in front of the tents that we set up or playing cornhole. Everybody has a really great time. Usually what we do is we have, usually it's in the early part of the day, so it would be your lunch. This year, we're doing it at 4 o'clock with entertainment, so Chef Marlin is upping his game and said, really, hot dogs? No, for dinner, I'm doing a shrimp boil, which is shrimp and sausage cut up in a little bag with corn and potatoes. So that will be the dinner. And s'mores, of course, it's camping, so you have to have s'mores. So they'll make the s'mores, and we'll have games again, just like last year. There'll still be the $5 donation requested, and you'll be able to again sign up at the front desk. You have to be signed up, and you do have to give your $5 prior to the event. It's just because we need a head count, especially that he's going above and beyond the hot dog issue. So we just want to make sure we have enough food for everybody. And that is all I got. So have a great day. Take a deep breath in. The air is fresh. It's no more like living on Mars. And have a great weekend.
Thank you, Gina. All right, so I'm going to challenge Marlon with this one. So s'mores, have any of you seen that they now make Reese's peanut butter cups? Okay, you all know Reese's peanut butter cups, right? Okay, they make ones that are thin, not the regular size ones, but thin ones that you can use in place of chocolate if you're a chocolate and peanut butter fan on your s'mores with your hot marshmallow. Now, if you're me, you do the graham cracker, you do the small, mini, thin peanut butter cup, you do the marshmallow, you do more chocolate, and then you do the other graham cracker. All right, I got one person who likes that. All right, as much sweets as I can get. Like I keep saying, I'm a diabetic waiting to happen, which is probably not good for me. But let's see if Marlon's got that. What?
Are you hungry?
When aren't I hungry? But anyway, all right. So can we do the thin peanut butter cups?
I can't do it right now because my glucose is 162.
You're monitoring that, so you can't do it. All right, maybe later. All right, so Matt can't do the thin peanut butter cups now, but there's a lot of other things he can do that he's going to share with us right now. So here's Matt Smith, our Director of Dining Services.
Thank you, Jay. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. How we doing? Good. I'm going to do a quick little update. Right now, we've hired 3 more servers for both Fireside and the Bistro. The thought process is that any newcomer that's joining our team is actually going to be cross-trained in all of our dining venues so that we can provide better service. I hired 2 more. They're in the pipeline right now, clinical work, that kind of stuff. They should be coming on board probably in about a week or so. So please welcome them. They'll be going through the training process. So we look forward to them joining our team and building our team even more than we already have right now. The next thing we're going to talk about is our office hours for Fireside. So if you have any questions about making a reservation, confirming a reservation, doing a to-go order, you can stop by the desk any day of the week from 10 to 2. And they'll be more than happy to answer any question whatsoever. This is going hand in hand. We are improving the reservation system. We've been working very closely with the dining committee. Thank you very much, along with Jay. You'll notice, and we went to table because we actually officially rolled it out last night into today. So when you call the Fireside, we're asking, you'll be able to make reservations starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that'll carry on over to 9 o'clock at night. So there's no reason to set your alarm at 12:01 in the morning and wake up and make that call. Because if you make that call, you're not going to be able to. You're going to hear a busy tone. So the reservation hotline will officially open at 7 a.m. So that actually started this morning. I know that we went table to table last night with everybody that was eating in the dining room in the restaurant, and we're very receptive, very happy to hear that this is a new system that we're trying out. Yes, we're trying it out. It's a pilot program where we are, there's going to be bugs, there's going to be hiccups, bumps along the road, and we are, as a team with the dining committee, we'll be working very closely with it, and we will make sure that we'll smooth out those bumps along the road. We did some great special events this past month. We did a Cinco de Mayo event for celebrating Cinco de Mayo. I think everybody had a great time on that. We had a great Mother's Day brunch. Then we did the Asian American Pacific Islander special with, we had Lay's, we had special drinks, we had a special menu for that, and then we had our barbecue for Memorial Day. Just one other quick thing, if you have any meal credits, you don't have to wait till the end of the month to use them. You can use them all month long. If you have a hiccup, you miss a day, you can use it then. You don't have to use it towards the end of the month and say, I got 10, how do I get rid of 10 and I have 2 days left to use them? You know, you can budget them a little bit better. So just refresh, if you need to place an order, or if you have a party larger than 5 in the bistro, make sure you call them at 6432. And then you can call 6433 to make your reservation and at the restaurant. And then if you need to know what the menu is for the next day, 6485. And then you can give me a call at my extension at 6424 for any feedback that you guys have, or you can shoot me an email and I'll get back to you either way. And that's all that I have. Once again, thank you again. Thanks for the dining team for working on this, the committee, and we'll be working closely to make sure that this place actually has a wonderful dining experience every night. So, thanks everyone.
Thanks, Matt. So yeah, we continue to work hand in hand with your Residents Association and the Dining Committee on enhancements to our program, and it's great to have that partnership. It's really, really important. We do monitor every night the number of reservations and the number of folks who may not be able to get a reservation, and I can tell you that we're serving right now somewhere in the neighborhood of anywhere between maybe 115 and 130 people a night downstairs in the restaurant. And with the increase in staff, we have only had, in the last week or so, I'm going to say on average, because I don't want to say any specific night, although Friday nights do tend to be a little more of a challenge, but on average, only 1 table a night where somebody is unable to get a reservation. So we're definitely moving in the right direction with all of that, and I hope that everybody understands where we're going with that. And the need to call at midnight was really never necessary, but we've made it even better now that we can restrict those times. And with the additional staff, it becomes even easier. So we thank you all for your patience as we've worked through what is a dining industry-wide challenge in terms of servers, in terms of product availability. Several of you have come to me in the last few weeks and said, you know, we were out at a restaurant the other night, and guess what? They ran out of dessert too. It happens everywhere. I'm going to show you something in just a minute and tell you about it. So it does. If you're out and about, not all the time, but it does. So with that, we're going to move on, and we have a new friend to welcome today. So you may have seen the communication that went out earlier this week. As we know, Dale Hill will be retiring soon. And we have been fortunate enough to find a wonderful person to come in and join our team. So with that, I would like to introduce you to our new Director of Housekeeping Services, Sharif Washington. He's going to make his way down the center aisle. We're going to do the old Price is Right. Come on down!
Welcome, Sharif. Welcome.
Say a few words. Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning. I don't really have much to say. I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to speak to you. I will get around to knowing everyone individually, and I'm looking forward to working with you all, and your concerns are my concerns. So if you see me, if you have anything that you need done, please feel free to let me know. Thank you.
Good luck, Sharif.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Sharif comes to us with a tremendous background in environmental services, a lot of time in healthcare, in hospitals, and he has a background as an EMT as well. So that is fascinating that we've got another medical professional we'll be able to have with us as well. let's hope we never need him to put his skills to the test, but it's good to know. He again, you can see his personality, a great individual, very deeply committed and dedicated to all the things that we care about here at Monroe Village. So while it will be extremely difficult when we have to say goodbye to Dale after 31 years here at Monroe Village, yes. We feel very, very confident in the ability for Sharif to take the reins and take the lead in the housekeeping department. He is spending the first several weeks training directly with Dale. This is the end of his first week. He's been spending most of his time over at Village Point, getting to know the operation over there. He will be spending time over here at Monroe Village, learning the operation as well, so don't be surprised in the coming weeks if it's your day for housekeeping. And whoever knocks on your door isn't just your regular housekeeper, but your regular housekeeper and Sharif. So he's definitely doing a hands-on training and getting up to speed with all the things we do here at Monroe Village. So if you see him, please welcome him to the family. He's a great guy and going to be a wonderful addition to our team. Speaking of our team, so Luann alluded to it, we are at the time of year where we do our annual Years of Service recognition. And this is a program that we run throughout all of Spring Point, at all of our communities, where we do luncheons and parties to celebrate our team members who have a milestone work anniversary. And what is a milestone work anniversary? It's multiples of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, on and on from there. We do a wonderful program. They get the opportunity to select a very nice gift for themselves. It's just a fun afternoon, and always amazes me when we do these each year to see just how many folks have longevity within our organization, because that really says something, especially in today's day and age where people will jump from job to job to job. The sense of the gold watch, if you will, to use a phrase from long ago at this point, it doesn't exist. There is no loyalty, but we have it here, and that speaks volumes. So on the Monroe Village side of our campus, we have 9 different team members we're going to be honoring in the coming weeks. And between the 9 of them, they have 75 years of service, one of whom has been here for 25 years. Quarter of a century. Amazing. Amazing, that kind of longevity and that kind of commitment to one place, to one group of people. It's admirable. Over on the Village Point side of our campus, we have 13 team members over there who will be celebrating a milestone anniversary. And between the 13 of them, 100 years of combined service. So for those in the room who are our centenarians, I think I said that correctly, we've got several of you. These folks put together have as much work as you do life experience. And that's a heck of a lot, isn't it, for those of you who've reached 100 years. And one of those folks by themselves, 20 years of service. So it really, really is admirable and something that is well worthy of recognition. So a round of applause for all of those who will be celebrating a milestone anniversary this year. So speaking of people who are committed and dedicated to Monroe Village, ready? I would like to honor Marlene Zeiselman. Marlene and her husband Bob moved into Monroe Village in 2016. They've been here, it'll be 7 years, I think, the end of the month, right, Marlene? And both of them have been very, very active in our community. Unfortunately, we lost Bob a little more than 3 years ago, and that was a very, very difficult time for all of us. But Marlene remained steadfast to what she and Bob committed to when they moved here to Monroe Village. And she remained active and engaged, just as Bob was, just as they both were previous to Bob's passing. She's been involved in several very important resident association committees, most recently serving as the chair of the Dining Services Committee. In case you haven't heard, Marlene has announced that she is going to be retiring as the chair of the Dining Services Committee. She's going to take a step back and let some other folks take the reins and lead us to the next era of dining service excellence. And I thought it was important that we recognize all that she has done. And in order to do that, and I don't think Marlene knows this, she may have just read it, but we are going to do, and you may, now that you see that, you may know a few conversations people had with you lately, maybe were related to something. We'll talk. But we are going to plan, in the next few weeks at one point, you'll hear about it first, a special evening in the Fireside Restaurant where the specials, all the specials of the night, will be Marlene's selections as a way to honor her and her service to the Dining Services Committee. So a round of applause to Marlene Zeiselman for her service to Monroe Village and the Residents Association.
I'm speechless.
You're speechless? I finally did it. You were chairman of the Welcome Committee, so many great things. And it's just a testament to all of you who get engaged, who do things. That is what makes the difference in our community. That's what makes us special. It's what people, when they come and visit and talk about where they want to live, time and again, we hear that's what made the decision for us. And seeing folks like that. Marlene, I don't have a microphone to give you. I wasn't quite that prepared.
All I want to say is I wake up every morning and say, thank God I'm here, not in Concordia. Who's Concordia, I'd be all alone. Bob and I moved in, he was here for 3 years, I think, and he made a lot of friends.
Yep.
So I'm very, very happy that we moved here, thank goodness.
What's wonderful. Thank you. And we are so happy to have you here. And you're right. It's all about having that large extended family that you can't have when you live out elsewhere. You've got, I've teased and I continue to tease that I've got 200 and some grandparents that I get to see every single day. Although as I get older, now some of you are more like parents than grandparents. But, it's because not any of you have gotten older. It's just me who's gotten older, right? Exactly. And it's a wonderful thing to have a family like that. And that word family really, I really think it rings true here. It means a lot. It really, really does. So again, Marlene, thank you for everything. We honor you. We appreciate you. We love you, Marlene. All right. So next thing to look at is a little update on our elevators. So those of you who live out in the C Wing, you probably noticed, and we did talk about this, we've done the renovations to a couple of more elevators. So this gives you an idea of what the old C Wing elevator looked like and what it looks like today. Talk about a facelift, right? Looks good, it's nice and bright in there now, much better. It feels bigger, doesn't it? It looks bigger, it feels bigger. I'm going to tell you a secret, it's not any bigger. But it looks and feels that way, certainly, and I think makes for a better experience for those who are riding our elevators. So the C Wing's done, and the next pictures I want to show you, because I think they actually show a really neat juxtaposition. The D Wing elevator is in process, and what happened was when the installers came to do the D Wing, they did the back panel, which is what you see that's done, and then they realized that the supplier of the product, they shorted them a panel that goes on the sides. And they can't install it unless they have all of the panels. So they were one panel short. So they should be back. We had a very, how do I put this? We had a very stern conversation with the panel manufacturer. And what normally is an 8-week manufacturing process, I had them do it in 10 days. So we should have the extra pieces that we need. I haven't seen an update in my email today, but they were supposed to ship, I think, yesterday. So when we get them, we'll have to do another day with the D-Wing elevator and complete that. But I really, as frustrated as I was in the moment, when you look at this, it really tells you and shows you in one shot how different it looks. And maybe I just like refreshing things and making them look nice for all of you, but you really see how much different it really is and the better atmosphere that it creates in those elevators. So those of you who use the D-Wing elevator regularly, hang tight with me for another week. We're gonna get it done as soon as those pieces come in. And then we'll be moving on probably, if the timing is right with the manufacturing process, late in the year doing another 2 elevators. So we're going to continue this process bit by bit, just as we've done with other projects that we do piece by piece so that we don't completely upset the apple cart all at once. I think it's a good way for us to be able to tackle projects, make improvements to our home without creating too much disruption all at once. So that's that.
Jay, that's so modern.
Don't they look? They do look modern.
It's up to date.
Current looking, attractive.
Beautiful.
Yes, and we like the look a lot. And I can take no credit for it because I had to use an interior decorator to give me some ideas. But they do great stuff. They really, really do. And it's amazing, you know, what just a little bit of work can do. Now, again, not inexpensive, but a heck of a lot less expensive than replacing the whole elevator, which we looked at that. Man, you don't want to know what that costs. So, all right, so the next thing I want to share is a picture that I took recently when I was out and about. So I think several of you know that I live in Stockton, New Jersey, which is the Stockton, New Jersey along the Delaware River in Hunterdon County. And we live very close to Lambertville and New Hope, which is a wonderful area if you are a foodie. I don't know if any of you have spent any time in the Lambertville or New Hope area, but there are tons of wonderful, wonderful restaurants in that area, and it's great. And sometimes my wife and I have the opportunity, believe it or not, to go out by ourselves. As the kids get older, we're finding more and more opportunities to do that and to actually explore some of the great restaurants in the Lambertville and New Hope area. And a couple of weeks ago, we had to drop Samantha off at the theater because she had a show, and we had the ability to, it was a beautiful Friday night, and we sat outside at a restaurant called the Lambertville Station. Have any of you ever heard of the Lambertville Station? Yeah. Kind of a well-known place, right? Right along the river, along what was the old rail line, that's why it's called the station, right? Which then became right where the canal is. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. They have a great outdoor setting right outside. It's beautiful. But a higher end, you know, a finer dining restaurant, I'm gonna call it. Well, on their menu, literally on their menu, they printed this. And it says, please note, due to relentless supply issues, many items will be rotating in and out of availability. Our apologies in advance. And I saw that and I said, it's everywhere. And they're actually printing it on their menu.
We should do the same.
Maybe we should do the same. I don't know. But I just, you know, it's hard when we are competing in a market that is very broad-based. And when finer dining establishments, someplace like the Lambertville Station, is actually putting this on their menu and up front telling you that they are struggling, I think that speaks to what the state of the restaurant industry is right now. And I just wanted to share that with folks because I think it's important to know that it's not just us, it's not just here. It is everywhere. And we do our best to overcome every single challenge that we have. But obviously, it's much more pervasive than just us. So with that, it's on to the mailbag. So I have 2 letters to share this month, and both of them are a little lengthy, but good in a good way. So I'm going to read them to you because the print ends up having to be a little bit small because of all the good things we have to share. So this letter I received said that shortly after dinner on Friday, May 12th, I discovered that the air conditioning unit in my bedroom was not working. I was apprehensive because the weekend was coming up and the weather could be unpredictable. I called the desk and was told that Roosevelt was still here and that the campus safety person would try to reach him before he left for the day. A few minutes later, Roosevelt was at my door. He determined that the unit would need a more thorough examination and promised to return the next morning. Promptly on Saturday morning, he returned to my apartment and checked out the unit. The repair was complicated and required removing part of the unit. When Roosevelt left my apartment, the unit was repaired and running well. I wish to give a special thank you to Roosevelt for coming to my apartment on Friday, even though his shift was almost over, and then taking the time on Saturday to diagnose and repair what proved to be more than one problem with the unit. Roosevelt is a knowledgeable and dedicated technician, and is also cognizant of how important it is for someone like me to have all systems in the apartment in working order. We are fortunate to have him on our maintenance staff during these difficult times. Also, special thanks to Stan for his assistance in resolving my problem. So, unfortunately, Roosevelt's not here with us today, but you'll see him around just like you always do. And when you do see him, tell him thanks. So here's a round of applause to Roosevelt. And we'll be giving him a little gift card in recognition of his efforts in resolving this issue so promptly and so effectively for one of your fellow residents. All right, and here's my second letter of the month. This comes from another resident who said that I would like to acknowledge clinic nurse Daryl Stevenson for not just being there for me, but being in the right place at the right time. On Sunday, May 14th, while slicing fresh vegetables, I cut into my finger with a paring knife. The bleeding was quite intense, so I wrapped a few moist paper towels around it. Leaving a mess of blood, I headed for the front desk to try to get someone's attention. Daryl was right down the hall, so I hollered out to get his attention. He got me to calm down by having me take slow, deep breaths and went right to work on my cut finger. Before I knew it, the situation was remedied with a compression bandage that would have impressed the strictest emergency room doctor. I am pleased to say that people like Daryl are truly a blessing to all of us here at Monroe Village. He belongs in the Hall of Fame for medical professionals. Daryl is another one of our unsung heroes. He's also not here with us today, otherwise I'd have him come in so we could publicly recognize him for all the good work that he does. But you'll see him around and about too, right? You see him several days a week and sometimes in the evening. Make sure you tell him thank you. Make sure you tell him, hey, we're really happy to have you as a part of our family, and we'll be giving him a little gift too in recognition of that. So a round of applause for our 2 mailbag recognees this month. And I did receive other letters, so if you sent me a letter and you didn't see it talked about today, fear not. I had too many letters to share at one time, so I'm going to keep some for the future, all right? So with that, I'm going to ask that we grab a couple of microphones and find out where our lovely, oh, here they come. Look at that. We're going to turn the lights up, so squint your eyes if you need to. Squint. And we are going to turn it over for some comments and questions. Raise your hand. Wait for the microphone to come to you so that everyone can hear what you have to say. Steve, it's all you.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. I just would like to know when and if something is going to be done about the parking lots. They're very uneven and people can trip, and on the A line and the A lot, you could hardly see any lines at all.
Yep, we have plans this year. It'll probably be in a few weeks, maybe in a month or so. We're finalizing everything with some concrete and some asphalt repair, as well as restriping of all of the parking lots. So when we get to the restriping of the parking lots, just beware that we will be asking folks to move their cars out of the parking lot, because we need to blow them out, we need to clean off the asphalt so that we can repaint. So yes, that is coming up a little later this year.
Thank you.
Where are we next? Bob?
Hi, I just want to thank Matt Smith and the Dining Committee for changing the reservation start time and for bringing Ayana up to the bistro now and then to help with the supervision in the evenings. Both these are very welcome improvements. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, where are we at next? Hello.
Hi. It's been a while, but here I am again talking about bathrooms and toilets. Still, the one toilet in the ladies' bathroom here on the main floor just runs continually. It's like a river. I know some months ago they were working on it, but whatever they did, it hasn't lasted. The amount of water, it's not dripping, it's running. The amount of water that we've lost in the year that I've been here would have paid for a new toilet and probably kept some people alive in the world somewhere. So I would just ask that it's the area that visitors see, it's the areas we use a lot, and there's been no change. And then the other part of the message is, ladies, please, it takes 2 seconds if you use that toilet. All you have to do is touch that handle and it will shut off.
Then it starts again.
Thank you for that info. All right, where are we at next? Right in the front row.
Since she brought up the toilets, I'm going to bring this up. I had occasion to use the bathroom downstairs near the dining room,
Turn the mic a little, there you go.
and I'm handicapped, you know, I use the walker. That handicapped bathroom is not accessible for a handicapped person. First of all, it's low, and it's very difficult to get up from. In addition, it doesn't have the support on the side to lift your body up. And I think that's a very important thing to have here. I mean, this is assisted living, and
Well, it's independent living.
or independent living, but I'm sure you want to meet our needs. You
Well,
know,
we can take a look at that, but I do know that everything the building, does meet ADA requirements.
yeah, but go take a look.
Okay,
Take a look and see, and put yourself in my position and many other people. Of
gotcha.
course, you know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Jay,
Yes.
I just wanted to piggyback on that because as a nurse, I notice things like that. And I realized when I came here that in the bathroom on the lower level, all of the rails, the handicap thing are on one side, and up here, they're on the other side. So if that helps at all.
Gotcha, thank you. Where are we at next? All right, hi Barbara.
It's actually a personal problem, so can I say it's not from something you discussed, I don't think?
Well, if
Can I
it's-
still talk about it?
If it's something personal, I don't know if you want
Well,
to
it was
share.
about my apartment, about something I need to have done, and I've already had people come in.
I
but-
think that maybe we should talk about that
Can we?
offline then.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
okay?
Thank you.
Hey, John.
I wanted to continue along the line of what Bob was saying. First of all, give a shout out and commend both Matt and Marlon for some of the improvements we are starting to see. The fact that we do have someone as competent and as pleasant as Ayana managing the bistro in the evening, and also keeping things moving, keeping the staff moving, making sure that everyone is attended to. But on the other hand, what I'd like to see is more changes made to the bistro menu.
Oh, have I got something for you?
Okay, all right, let me finish. What I'd like to see is, if you look at some of the items on there seems to be a lot of duplication. An example is like, you got a meatball parm and then the meatball sub. I mean, you got two things of meatballs. I mean, what's wrong with eggplant? The other thing is, I'd like to see more green vegetables on the sides. Really, I mean, I'm a health freak, and I watch what I put in this old body of mine.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm sure everybody else here does, and we all want to stay healthy for heaven's sakes. I would like to think that.
Yep.
But once again, the bottom line is that I'm starting to see some improvements, a little bit more of a steadier flow of things coming in for breakfast as well.
Yep.
But Matt and Marlon are both doing a great job. They're always visible. They're always more than willing to accommodate, and we are so blessed to have both of them.
Yes, we are. Thank you. Where are we at next? Where's Steve? Oh, hi, Betty.
Hi. I think some time ago, all the chairs in the dining room were repulsive. Perhaps it's time to do it now. Again, maybe my rear end is becoming more sensitive. However, every time I sit down, I seem to set these things together. The other observation, if I may, every night anytime we go to dinner, anytime we pick up a cup, it's usually stained. Obviously, I understand that they are sterilized. However, it is not appetizing, and I don't think any upscale restaurant would permit stained cups. And could they run them through Clorox again, please? Because they really need a good cleaning.
Okay.
Even the cutlery sometimes.
And you're talking coffee cups primarily, right?
Coffee cups,
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah,
They are
China.
stained, and it's just unattractive, and you wouldn't find it in any upscale restaurant.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, thank you so much.
Let's see what we can do.
Bye.
Thank you. Where are we next? Julie?
Okay, I'd like to give a shout out to Bob and Carlin Schwanke, sorry. And Rita and Harvey Drucker
Mm-hmm.
and the administration for this beautiful gallery that we have.
Isn't that wonderful?
Of course, all has contributed, but it was I guess it was Bob who initiated it.
Yep.
And working together, he did a great job. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, that's great. All right, where are we at next? We're going to the back. From the front row to the back row. Hi, Bernie.
I want to thank Steve for putting together a great Memorial Day program here.
Indeed.
And also to thank Mike Malone. It's good to Boston, playing music and so forth.
Yep.
And I can tell from experience, a color card performance in a program went off without a hitch.
Yep.
It was the smoothest one we ever had, and we had a sellout audience.
Yep.
And I think I want to commend Monroe Village for really having that. I think it affected everyone based on report. Everyone affected for that particular day.
Yep.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thanks, Bernie. Do we have any others? Looks like Millie's got something.
No, I was just questioning the make-up meal policy in the Fireside Restaurant.
Yeah.
I wanted to make up one meal and
Yeah.
was told I could only order what was on the menu that particular evening. So I went up to the bistro and they had just huge variety. Will that be the policy from now on?
That's always been the policy, yes. If you're ordering a makeup meal, whatever day you're ordering something that's takeout, whether it's a makeup meal or not, it's whatever the menu is for that day in either location. And obviously,
And you can pick it up at any time though, can you?
well, I think it's usually, if it's in the bistro, it's much more flexible in terms of the
Yes,
time.
regular.
Yes,
Okay.
regular pickup
Thank
times.
you.
Mm-hmm, sure. All right. I don't see any more hands. So I'm gonna take that and say, I think we are done for today. Thank you all for your time and your participation. Happy Flag Day next week. Happy Father's Day the following Sunday after that. A reminder that we take the month of July off from Town Hall because everybody's busy. They got a lot going on. As you saw from what Steve said, we're going to be tired anyway in July. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for your feedback. Thank you for your partnership and being a great family. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Yoga class in the community room in 5 minutes.
Oh boy.
Good and purple.
Yep. 643, just like it's always been. Nope, let me get the G number. Okay? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Wait until you see the new menu that's coming in a few minutes, all right?
At least 4.